The upcoming El Clásico 2026 will shape the title race not because it is a final or a trophy ceremony or a single defining whistle at the end of the season, but because it arrives at a moment where momentum, belief, pressure, and identity collide between Barcelona and Real Madrid in a way that feels heavier than points on a table and deeper than 90 minutes of football. Because El Clásico has always existed beyond numbers, and this one arrives as the axis on which the entire La Liga campaign may turn, as both clubs enter the match knowing that victory does not simply give 3 points, but sends a message to the rest of Spain and Europe about who truly controls the direction of the season. Because Barcelona approached this fixture as a team rediscovering their rhythm after years of transition, where youth development, tactical experimentation, and financial limitation forced them to redefine what dominance looks like in the modern era, while Real Madrid arrive as perennial contenders, carrying the weight of expectation that comes with a club that measures success only in titles and historical authority. And this contrast makes the upcoming El Clásico 2026 not just a meeting of rivals, but a clash of philosophies, where one side seeks validation of progress and the other seeks reinforcement of supremacy. And the timing of the match, on the 12th, only intensifies the stakes because it sits at a point in the calendar where patterns harden, narratives form, and confidence becomes currency as the season moves from potential to reality. And this is why this El Clásico feels different, because it is not about nostalgia or the shadows of Messi, Ronaldo, or past glories, but about who owns the present and who controls the future of Spanish football, as Barcelona's evolving identity, built around technical control, positional intelligence, and youthful energy, faces Real Madrid's ruthless efficiency, transitional power, and psychological resilience. And when these two forces collide, the league table may not immediately decide the champion, but it will reveal who is ready to endure the long, brutal months that follow, because title races are rarely won in spring without being shaped in winter. And this match arrives as that shaping moment where belief can be forged or broken. And for Barcelona, this El Clásico represents a test of legitimacy, because promising performances mean nothing unless they stand up against the one opponent that defines their standards, and a win here would not simply close a points gap or extend a lead, but would signal that the project has reached maturity, that the players trust the system under pressure, and that the club can impose its style against the most mentally resilient opponent in world football. While Real Madrid, the stakes are equally immense, because dominance is not declared, it is defended, and anything less than control in this match would invite doubt into a dressing room built on inevitability and serial success. And that doubt is dangerous in a title race, because Madrid do not fear competition, but they respect momentum, and losing it at this stage of the season can create cracks that even champions must fight to repair. And this is why the upcoming El Clásico 2026 carries weight far beyond 90 minutes, because it will influence how both teams approach the next stretch of fixtures, how rotation is managed, how confidence flows through the squad, and how rivals perceive vulnerability. Because football seasons are stories, and El Clásico is the chapter that often changes the tone of the entire narrative. And the tactical battle itself promises to be a defining subplot, because Barcelona's emphasis on control through midfield structure and positional superiority will be tested against Real Madrid's ability to destabilize games through pace, power, and vertical threat. And whichever side imposes its rhythm will not only gain advantage in this match, but will reveal a blueprint for how they intend to dominate the remainder of the season. And in title races, blueprints matter, because consistency is not accidental, it is designed. And the outcome of this El Clásico will either validate or expose those designs. And beyond tactics lies psychology, because El Clásico is the one fixture where form often dissolves and emotion amplifies. But in a title race, emotion must be harnessed, not allowed to consume. And the team that manages pressure best on the 12th will likely carry that composure into decisive moments later in the season, when fatigue, injuries, and expectation begin to test mental strength. And this is especially important in a campaign where margins are thin and every drop dropped point echoes louder as the table tightens, and while fans may focus on individual stars, moments of brilliance, or controversial decisions, the true impact of this match will unfold gradually in how each club responds afterward, because winning El Clásico can create an illusion of invincibility that must be managed carefully, while losing it can either fracture belief or ignite a response that defines champions. And history shows that title races are often decided not by who wins El Clásico, but by who responds best to its outcome. And that is what makes this upcoming clash so pivotal, because both Barcelona and Real Madrid are at stages of their evolution where reaction matters more than reputation. And the 2026 context adds another layer, because this season represents a bridge between eras, with younger players stepping into leadership roles and veterans being asked to guide without dominating. And El Clásico has always been the stage where leadership is exposed, because when intensity peaks, systems bend and individuals must rise. And the players who emerge from this match with authority will likely shape not just the title race, but the identity of their teams for years to come. And this is why analysts, fans, and neutrals alike sense that this match is not just another chapter in a historic rivalry, but a hinge moment where trajectories shift and the league begins to tilt. And as the whistle approaches on the 12th, the pressure is not equal, because pressure is interpreted differently at each club. Barcelona feel the pressure of proving they belong back at the summit, while Real Madrid feel the pressure of ensuring no one else is allowed to take their place. And these opposing pressures will manifest in how each side approaches risk, patience, and control. And those choices will ripple through the title race long after the final whistle, because El Clásico has a way of redefining belief structures within teams, and belief is often the invisible factor that separates contenders from champions. And as the season progresses, injuries, suspensions, and schedule congestion will test depth and adaptability, and the confidence drawn from a decisive performance in this match could become the anchor that sustains a title push when circumstances grow hostile. And this is why the upcoming El Clásico 2026 carries weight far beyond 90 minutes, because it will influence how both teams approach the next stretch of fixtures, how rotation is managed, how confidence flows through the squad, and how rivals perceive vulnerability, because it will clarify the landscape, reveal strengths, expose weaknesses, and set the psychological tone for everything that follows. And when history looks back at this season, this match will be remembered not as a final or a coronation, but as the moment when the direction of the race became clear, when belief shifted, when pressure changed hands, and when Spanish football once again reminded the world that some matches don't need trophies on the line to carry the weight of destiny, because El Clásico doesn't wait for finals to matter. It creates its own gravity, and on the 12th, that gravity will pull the title race firmly in one direction or the other, shaping the season in ways that will only fully be understood when the final table is written and the story is complete.